Welcome back to We Reckon Math with Miss Catherine. Today's topic is going to be on rational and irrational numbers. If you've been having a little bit of trouble with this topic, this video is for you. Let's get into it. So, a rational number is any integer, fraction, terminating decimal, or repeating decimal. Let's look at the first word, which is integer. Our first vocabulary term, we have integer. An integer includes any counting number that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, any negative numbers, and 0. So let's write our numbers here. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And our negative numbers. So 0 is not negative. We're just going to copy that. And then we have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. Here, for an integer, denominator can't be 0. So that means if we take a fraction, because the integer comes from simplifying a fraction. For example, the number 1, the integer 1 is also considered an integer because it's a counting number. This one is coming from a fraction. For example, we got this answer 1 from dividing the number 5 by 5. That is one way we could have arrived at our answer 1. And basically, in order to arrive at this answer 1, to have 1 as our final result, the numerator, which is the top part of the fraction, and the denominator, which is the bottom part of the fraction, is going to be the same. So in this case, you see we have a 5 on the top and a 5 on the bottom. That means we get the answer 1 because our top and bottom are the same. So when we divide, we get 1. And it can be 4 over 4 as another example, or 2 over 2, and so on. So notice that the denominator is not 0. If you had 0 on the bottom, you can test this out on a calculator, but if you do it on a calculator, for example, 1 divided by 0, you get an error message. It basically means that it's not a fraction. You don't get a fraction or any answer. So you just want to remember that the denominator, the bottom part of a fraction, cannot be equal to 0. It's okay if the 0 is in the numerator on the top part of the fraction. For example, if you did 0 over 2, that's perfectly fine. You would just get 0 in this case. But you cannot have 0 on the bottom in the denominator. All right, let's go to terminating decimal. The terminating decimal is a decimal that stops. For example, 0.53. Just an example. Or common one is 0.75. So that's a very common one. So if you know this in fraction form is going to be 3/4. So notice both of these decimals, they stop. There are no more digits at the back of these digits. So we have 0.53 and 0.75, or 53 hundredths and 75 hundredths. Now let's look at repeating decimal. So a repeating decimal is a decimal that repeats. It could be 0.3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and so on. And this can be written as 0.3 with a bar on top of the 3. So if you see a bar line on top of a digit, it means that this number is repeating. So when you see 0.3 with a bar line on top, it means 0.33333, and it basically just doesn't stop and it keeps repeating. And going back to rational number, an easy way to remember is that it has the word ratio. And hopefully that will help you remember, because ratio basically means comparing two objects against one another. So that's like taking a fraction. And I hope this video was able to help those of you who had a little bit of trouble with this topic. If you did like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below what other videos you would like me to do. I'd be more than happy to do more topics that other people request. Until then, that's it. See you guys next time. Thanks, everyone.